Hello to you. In my previous video, I put a problem on by Adolf Anderson, gleaned from the Chess Player's Chronicle from a volume in 1845. Well, this is from the same volume, and White's task here is to checkmate in 11 moves. It's by a gentleman by the name of Mr. W. Bone, so he probably used a bone chess set, probably a barleycorn one, when he composed this. We'll have to make do with my Soviet set from 1950, and I don't think he'd complain about that one. What you have to do here, just taking a good look at it, just get a close-up of the important squares. What you have to do here is something very similar, although not identical, to a problem that I put on several months ago, where I was invited by a YouTube viewer to solve a problem, and I managed to do it. And there's quite a bit of maneuvering where you eventually trap the king right on the queen side. Well, that's what we need to do here. We need to pin that king down. So what is the key move here to stop the king from moving as much as it can move at the moment? It can move to 2 squares. You can also move that pawn. So I'm giving a clue there. Can you see it? Yes. That is the key move. And in so doing, you see, you have restricted black to that move. That's one move on either side in this mate in 11. So in 10 more moves, we must deliver checkmate. Now, we need to stop the black king from moving to c8, because if he can get to c8, we'd find it very difficult to win this, certainly not in 11 moves anyway. So we have a choice with our knight. We can either play here, or we can play here. Which one would you go for? You notice how I've left the knight there? Well, again, well done if you've seen it. That is the move. So we're forcing black into a toing and froing situation, reminiscent of the previous problem, excellent problem by Adolf Anderson. So what happens now? Well, we don't do anything with the knight. We just move the king. So that's 2 moves. We move the king to here. And he has to go here. That's 3 moves. 4 moves. 5 moves. Do you see what we're doing? 6 moves. Now, of course, what we don't want to do is to play there, because that would land ourselves in stalemate. So what do we do there after 6 moves with 5 to go? Well, we've set the scene really. The only way that we can capitalize on all this is by sacrificing the knight. That's the only way that we can do it. So, how do we go about doing that? That is there, by the way. That's after 1, b6, king b8, 2, knight e7, king a8, king e3, king b8, king d4, king a8, king c5, king b8, king d6, king a8. Well, we sacrifice the knight like this. And now you see he can't move his king. That's on the 7th move. So he's left with no option but to take. So what do we do now? What do we do in that position? Do we take the pawn? No. We ignore the pawn. We play here. We stop the king from moving to b8. We're now forcing him to move this pawn. So what do? That's 8 moves. We play here, 9 moves. He goes here, 10 moves, and we better have a queen. What does he do? Well, he's 1 move, hasn't he? And that's your checkmate in 11 moves. That is a cool problem, no doubt about that. And a beautiful finish, which I trust you enjoyed. And goodbye to you.